Hi there! Welcome back to Sage Creates. I'm Sage, and today I'm going to be going over the crocheted one-piece hoodie that I made. So I made this as a birthday present, even though it wasn't originally intended to be a birthday present, for my boyfriend. He really likes One Piece. He's going through the anime currently, and I wanted to make him a hoodie, and he requested that it be one piece. So it's got the tapestry crochet on the back, and it's a regular hoodie on the front. So let me show you that a little bit here. I've got it. This is the front of it. It's really big, so let me see if I can fit it in the camera here. So it's got the pocket in the front, the red on the bottom, yellow for the ribbing here with the hood, and then the back of it looks like this. Hope you can see that. So I love how this turned out. Again, it is huge. Not huge on him. It is a bit long and it is oversized, but it's not huge. It's just a lot of yarn went into the making of this, so it feels very weighted. It's definitely going to be a winter hoodie. He's been joking that he can put this on when he goes to clean off his car in the morning kind of thing, and just, you know, throw that on real quick and be able to go out real fast to clean off my car or something, or his. So he really enjoys it. So he says. I really like how it turned out. I'm really proud of it, and I wanted to go through the construction of it. So I had the idea firstly to make the graph. So the first thing that I did was I found this image here. I went ahead and plugged it into Stitch Fiddle, and it ended up with the graph that looks like this. So for that, I went ahead and got the colors that it recommended in the Karen 1 pound. I'm trying to see if I have one here. I do. So the black is this one, the Karen 1 pound in black is the main color that I used for it. I also have the red, the yellow, and the white. All of them are the Karen 1 pound, so I have a bunch left over of the red and a bit left over of the yellow. So I first got my colors, got everything supplies-wise that I needed. Typically in town, at least here, we have a Michael's and a Joann's, so those are the two that I get my supplies from typically, unless I'm shopping online. So got all the supplies that I needed, got the graph. I had to tweak it a little bit originally from just plugging it into the final product that I used for crocheting this. It was a little bit different. I had to tweak it just a little bit. I had to adjust and account for the size of it that I wanted it to be, and make sure that I wanted it to be single crochet versus double or half double. So I did do single crochet for the whole back piece for the tapestry crochet part. And then that I went through, I did not complete it until I had already started working on some of the other parts of the hoodie, just because I needed a little bit of a break from the back of it. And I did take a lot of breaks on this. I think I started this project back in maybe August or so. It's been a little while. And then after figuring out what I wanted to do for the back part of it, I had to figure out what to do for the front. So I have previously made a hoodie before, so I was using a little bit of experience from that, but I did not use the pattern for that because it was a double crochet, and I wanted it to be a little bit more together, a little bit warmer, not see-through sort of thing, and less stretchy. This is pretty stiff. It's got a little stretch to it, a little give, but the double crochet was really stretchy, and you could like super stretch it, like how I could stretch this a lot compared to this material, or this thickness. So that was the first thing. I decided to do the half double crochet all over the rest of the hoodie. So I made the front of it. I started from the bottom going up, and what I did is once I got to a certain point of the collar, I started doing some decreases to make it go this way a little bit to create not quite a circle but like a square edge here is what I ended up with. So I started making the side here, doing the decreases as I went along the neckline, stopped it at the shoulder, and then I reconnected here and built the other side of it up to match the left, or whichever side I did first, to make sure that it was symmetrical on both sides and that it would be even when I went to sew it to the back part. And then after making the front part, I believe I went on to figure out how to do the sleeves. So for the sleeves, again, I did use inspiration from the pattern. I will go ahead and put the picture of it here. That way you can go ahead and search it online. It's a free... No, this one I believe I paid for. I will have to double check and I'll let you know. Yeah, so it is a pattern that you have to pay for. I paid between $5 and $7 for it, so it wasn't that expensive, but I wanted to have a really good template for a hoodie, and it had a hood to it as well, so that gave me the idea of how to construct a hoodie for the first time. I'm sure you can find free ones online, but I was making it for a person, another person, when I made the hoodie in the first place, and I let them find, well, I found the pattern, but I let them pick which one of a series of them that I showed them, and that's the one that they went with. So I went ahead and made the arms then. So for these I started, let me see if I can remember. So for the arm, the way that it starts is you're supposed to do the ribbing first, and then you build on from that and make the rest of it and do increases as you go. So as you can see here, it's got a slope. Starts here at the widest part, which is, let me flip that down. There we go. So this bit that you see here is wider for the top of your arm, and then it tapers down to a certain point and goes all the way down to the arm. So I did that on both sides. I did not start with the ribbing on it first. I just started with a chain, figured out how wide I wanted it to be around the wrist, and I made the sleeves because at the very end I wanted to figure out from my boyfriend what colors he wanted. I got his input for every step of the process here when it came to what colors and designs and feel of the fabric and everything that he wanted. He had requested that it not be as stretchy, so that's why I did the half double crochet instead of the double crochet, and he requested that I do the red ribbing on the bottom and the yellow on the wrists or the sleeves to match the pocket in the front. So I did that last once I got his opinion on what he wanted for that. And then in the end I made the hood. So the hood is really easy. It is simply the hood is simply a rectangle that is then folded in half and sewn along the top. So for this, the seam is right here along the top of it, so it does make this little point in the back. I'm sure there's ways that you can fix that, but this is what the pattern had said and what I ended up wanting to do for it. So I went ahead and made that, and I sewed it on separately to the body. For the body itself, when I was constructing all of this, I took the back side, measured it up against the front side, and the back ended up being a little bit smaller compared to the front, and I was not redoing the front. So I went ahead and added some rows around the outside of the tapestry crochet. So that's why when you look at it, it's got a lot more black on the top than it does on the bottom. See how close that is compared to all this black space, because I went around on the sides, the top, and the other side to increase where I needed. So I went ahead and did that until it matched the front. I sewed those together and sewed the arms all together and put them on the body. And then I went ahead, I had to add some rows to the neckline area, so I was adding it all along here, going around in circles to make sure that I had it the proper neckline for him, because it ended up being a little too open in the neck, a little lower on the cleavage part, and he was like, it's a little too low, so I had to add some rows there before I added in the hoodie. But then I finally sewed the hoodie onto the top of it, sewed the pocket onto the front, and did all of the ribbing. So first you do So first I did a row of single crochet. I skipped a couple stitches here and there. I probably could have done more to make it more tight on the wrist, but I wanted it to be able to be rolled up, so it had to be able to go from the wrist to where the elbow sits, which is a bit meatier on the arm. So when I did that, I went ahead, did the row of single crochet. Once I met with the end of it, I connected with a slip stitch, and then I chained, I believe, 10, and I went through and did a back post single crochet, or a back loop single crochet for all of it. So I went through and did the single instead of, I know you can do half double crochet as well, but I wanted it to be a little smaller, thinner ribbing. So I used that for the cuffs and for the bottom. So yeah, that is how it all turned out. I am super proud of how this project went. It is my first introduction into any sort of tapestry crochet, and it is where I discovered Stitch Fiddle in the first place, which is a great site to use for any sort of tapestry crochet or C2C, corner to corner crochet, and a bunch of other ones that you can do. I'm pretty sure there's a way you can do knitting patterns and Tunisian crochet. There's just so many options on there. It's a really great website and resource to use for any sort of fiber arts. So yeah, thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you liked this video and would like to see some more content from me. I'm not sure what I'm doing next, but we will find out together. So stick around for the next video and have a nice day.